Today on People Now, Carrie Underwood opens up about that accident that resulted in 40 face stitches.
And Farrah Fawcett's son arrested for robbing a convenience store at knifepoint. We have the details.
A dramatic moment caught on video as an 11-year-old jumps from a car to escape a carjacking. We'll tell you what happened.
This wasn't you, right? No, that's definitely not me.
And music icon Michael Bolton opens up about getting catfished on dating apps and which superstar misses his long flowing hair.
And why are the Backstreet Boys dressed as the Spice Girls? We have a hilarious video that's going to really spice up your life. It's all today on People Now. Thursday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. It does seem that Throwback Thursday is in full effect. Yeah. Backstreet is back, everybody. Woo! Did they ever leave? I don't know. But you're not going to believe the amazing 90s vibes that they were giving off at a recent performance.
That's right. We have the video that'll make your tween dreams come true coming up in just a bit. But first, all this Backstreet news is bringing back those first love butterflies.
Yeah, it is.
So we're reminiscing about the heartthrobs that made our hearts skip a beat. So what better way to celebrate TBT than by finding out who was your first celebrity crush? Let us know. Tweet us at People with the hashtag PeopleNow.
I can't wait for this one. We're going to check in with your answers in a little bit.
But
first, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. Watch.
The song Cry Pretty has touched a lot of people. We've all felt it. Like you nod your head when you hear the words.
I feel like people relate to it because it is like, oh man, like sometimes you just do have to just let it out.
I go to the bathroom. Like I literally go in the bathroom because there's no other escape hatch.
I love this because I have had conversations with people and I feel like people are telling me places that they cry. I've heard closet, I've heard shower, I've heard bathroom.
What's yours?
I feel like my car kind of is because I feel like you just feel like, which I know people can still see you and they probably have seen me at like a stoplight or something and be like, what's this crazy lady doing?
I used to cry in my car too. That's Carrie Underwood opening up to the Today Show's Hoda Kotb on Thursday about the overwhelming response to her new single, Cry Pretty. Underwood also shared new details about her scary fall in November that resulted in 40 to 50 stitches to her face and surgery for a broken wrist. She called the fall a freak accident and explained that she missed a step while taking her dogs out to, quote, do their business, an accident that she says could happen to anybody. She also told Hoda Kotb that she was alone at the time, aside from her 3-year-old son, Isaiah, who was asleep upstairs. Well, now she says that every day she feels a little more back to normal. And at a Mother's Day event in New York City for her activewear line, Carrie Underwood exclusively told People, I feel great. She said, definitely happy, and we're obviously very happy to hear that. We are rooting for her and that continued recovery. On to this, Georgina Chapman is speaking out for the first time since over 60 women accused her estranged husband, Harvey Weinstein, of sexual misconduct. In a profile for Vogue's June issue, the fashion designer describes her emotions since the scandal first broke last fall. She says, quote, there was a part of me that was terribly naive, clearly so naive. I have moments of rage, I have moments of confusion, I have moments of disbelief, and I have moments when I just cry for my children. She goes on to add, what are their lives going to be? What are people going to say to them? Well, Chapman claimed to the magazine that she never knew of her husband's alleged behavior and had what she thought was a, quote, very happy marriage, making the revelations even more shocking. The Marchesa co-founder has been keeping a low profile since the scandal broke, canceling the runway show for the brand's fall 2018 collection and calling her time out of the spotlight a time for mourning. Even now, she tells Vogue, quote, it's still very, very raw. I was walking up the stairs the other day and I stopped. It was like all the air had been punched out of my lungs. Vogue's editor-in-chief, Anna Wintour, defends Chapman in her June editor's letter, writing in part, quote, I believe that one should not hold a person responsible for the actions of his or her partner. What Georgina should be receiving is our compassion and understanding. In October, Chapman announced that she was leaving Weinstein after 11 years of marriage in light of his sexual misconduct allegations. The two married in 2007 and have 2 children together, ages 7 and 4. Well, Farrah Fawcett's son, Redmond O'Neal, allegedly robbed a Los Angeles convenience store and threatened the clerk with a knife on Tuesday. The Los Angeles Police Department has confirmed to People, and according to police, the son of actors Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neal walked into the store located near Santa Monica armed with a knife and demanded the clerk to take out money from the register. Authorities claim that Redmond fled the store after the clerk handed over an undisclosed amount of cash just before 2:30 a.m. The 33-year-old was arrested nearby, and detectives alleged that they recovered a knife from Redmond that matched the clerk's description. Now, Redmond was arrested on a robbery charge and is being held on $50,000 bail. He's due in court on Thursday, when a judge will determine if he will be granted bail or released. Now, Redmond has struggled with drug addiction for most of his adult life. Tuesday's arrest is his latest run-in with law enforcement, and Redmond's attorney and a rep for Ryan did not immediately respond to People's requests for comment. This is a shocking story. An 11-year-old girl managed to escape a carjacking by throwing herself out of a moving vehicle. Watch closely there in the corner. The video you're seeing now shows the dramatic moment which occurred at a Chicago area gas station on Friday night, was caught on video, which was later released by the Aurora Police Department. The footage depicts a man jumping out of a car and getting inside an SUV as the girl's father pumps gas. The girl was inside the vehicle when the incident occurred. Now, in the video, the girl jumps out of the backseat of the vehicle while her father jumps on top of the other car in a failed attempt to stop it. Moments later, the girl and her father embrace in the parking lot as they watch their car being driven away. The police department shared the video on their Facebook page, writing, "Miraculously, neither the girl nor her father were hurt." Now, according to Fox News, the stolen car was found less than an hour later, and an Illinois state trooper arrested Tyrell L. Pulley. The Aurora Police Department wrote in their post that they secured charges of aggravated vehicle hijacking, aggravated unlawful possession of a stolen motor vehicle, and fleeing and eluding police against Pulley. But his alleged accomplice is still at large. You can find updates on this story on People.com. What a crazy story there.
That is so crazy. That's every parent's worst nightmare.
Really dramatic video there, too. Of course, we wish them the best. And Lola, you have more for us in Star Trek.
I sure do. We're kicking off Star Treks with one celebrity couple who's officially called it quits. Oh, say it ain't so. Ariana Grande and Mac Miller have split after almost 2 years together. The former couple, who first went public with their relationship in September 2016, decided to go their separate ways due to busy schedules, according to TMZ. The split comes as a bit of a shock to fans since the rapper recently gushed about Grande's return to the music world, adorably writing on Twitter, "Very proud of this girl right here. Welcome back. We missed you. One of a kind." Now, the two were last photographed together in March at Madonna's private Oscars after party, and the couple remained by each other's side while holding hands and looking very much in love. More recently, though, Grande walked the 2018 Met Gala red carpet solo, wearing a statement-making Vera Wang ball gown. Wishing these two all the best as they work through their split. But while one couple is breaking up, another Hollywood A-lister is getting ready to tie the knot. That's right, Glee star Lea Michele has happily named her best friend Jonathan Groff as her maid of honor. The actress posted a selfie of the two friends announcing the news on Wednesday. Now, the pair have been friends for quite a while. They first worked together in 2006 on a Broadway production of Spring Awakening. They then joined forces again on Glee when Jonathan joined the cast from 2010 to 2015. I can't wait to see him standing beside Michelle on her big day.
It'll be great.
It's gonna be awesome. Of course, Michelle got engaged to Zandy Reich about 2 weeks ago on April 28th and announced in a cute Instagram post showing off the 4-carat diamond ring captioned, "Yes." The pair have been romantically linked since July 2017, but were friends for years before things turned romantic. A pal of Leah's told People that, quote, "This is the happiest that Leah has ever been." Oh, Chrissy Teigen's not so happy. She's reaching that stage of pregnancy where she's not having fun anymore. The model mom is almost at the finish line, though. Her second child, a boy, is expected in June, but for Chrissy, June can't come soon enough. She tweeted Thursday morning, "I am burping hot lava. I am so done, man." This is just the latest in a series of tweets Chrissy has posted over the past 2 days. After the cookbook author tweeted she couldn't taste food on Wednesday, it seems she reached her limit. She posted another tweet saying, "Happy pregnant Chrissy is gone. Meet over it, Chrissy." "Want to hold my boy? Let's do this." When one fan replied to Chrissy with, "You've been pregnant for 3 years, I swear," she was in total agreement, writing, quote, "It feels worse for me because with IVF, you know so early. I mean, I knew I was pregnant at 11 days. Wow, that's modern science for you, huh, Jeremy?
Incredible.
But that's a long time for someone to know there's a bun in the oven, so reasonably Chrissy is done waiting. But don't worry, girl. I'm sure baby number 2 will be worth the wait. And those are your Star Treks for today.
There you go, and stay with us, guys. Music legend Michael Bolton is sharing his thoughts about online dating, and you won't believe which celeb misses Michael's signature long hair. Plus, star of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Maureen Hinkle, teases what we can expect in season 2. All right, guys, we've been teasing this video, and I think it is time for us to finally tell you what you want, what you really, really want.
What you really, really want?
Tied it in there.
Very nice. Introducing the group we never knew we needed, the Spice Boys. Yeah, that's right. The Backstreet Boys embrace their inner girl power while performing on BSB Cruise to Turks and Caicos. And the transformations, well, you can see they're absolutely hilarious. Let's break them down, shall we?
Let's do it. Kicking things off with the one and only Nick Carter. Nick sported his best blonde wig to channel Baby Spice, a.k.a. Emma Bunton. He even wore a pink slip dress and white platform shoes. I mean, pulling it off. Kind of.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. No comment. And Kevin Richardson couldn't help but look a little posh. The singer transformed into Victoria Beckham with a statement glasses and a black blunt bob.
All right,
That
meanwhile,
looks close.
it's
a little closer.
Brian Luttrell was inspired by Mel C's Sporty Spice, laying red and orange tank tops with black sweats and a ponytail wig. Comfortable and sporty chic. I think there's something there.
I like that. And look out, AJ McClain was ready to frighten the crowd with his interpretation of Scary Spice, aka Mel B. AJ wore her iconic leopard print jumpsuit, complete with black platform boots and trousers.
There's a lot going on
There's
there.
way too much going on.
A whole lot. Last but certainly not least, Howie Duro changed into Ginger Spice by wearing a sequin version of Jerry Halliwell's Union Jack dress.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're getting closer as we go here.
But he completed.
Not at all insulting, only a nice, respectful tribute.
Yeah. A for effort. He completed the look with synthetic red hair and a pair of latex red platform boots. Hey, they say boots are made for walking, and the Backstreet Boys were definitely made to channel their inner Spice Girls.
It's there. On that note, let's check in on another question of the day. From Backstreet to Bolton, Throwback Thursday is bringing all our tween celebrity dreams to life. We had to know, who was your first celebrity crush? And one Twitter user says, Frankie Muniz during his Malcolm in the Middle days. I had his photo all over my cubby.
Okay, another adds 90s Justin Timberlake. No one could beat those adorable curly cues.
Okay.
What'd you
All right.
think?
Mine was Kelly Kapowski. Let's keep it going, though.
Okay.
Keep those answers coming in. We'll check back with you a little later. First, we are moving on to this.
Right.
Kenan Thompson opening up in this week's issue of People about being a fixture in comedy for 25 years.
Hard to believe it's been that long. Many of us grew up with him on that kids show, All That.
On Nickelodeon, love that.
was
Right, and the funny man has 15 seasons of SNL under his belt. He sat down to tell us why he doesn't plan on leaving that sweet gig anytime soon.
There's, no hurry for me to run out of the door away from that experience because it'll never be the same. And I've already been on the other side of that. Like I've been, on a regular sitcom and I've done movies and then, I've done this and that and the other. Sorry, I sound like I'm bragging, but I just have, I know what to expect once I do leave there. And yeah, it's different. It's not as exciting as being able to create something every single week and having that pressure on you and then the feeling of it going well and being obsessed with it on Sunday and reading about it and all that stuff, it's incredible.
Yeah, Kenan, he may like the pressure now, but at one point he didn't even think that he would make it on the show.
That's right. Kenan may land genius-level jokes every Saturday night, but when auditioning for the spot 15 years ago, he admits it was no easy feat.
When we left Nickelodeon, it was a couple years of hey, let me, SNL seems like a logical next move or whatever, let's send him a tape. And they were like, well, you look kind of young or whatever. And it was a couple years of that, your face is young, blah, blah, blah. And then they finally let me audition once Tracy left the show. And I got a call back and then, a week went by and I went back to Cali and I didn't hear anything. And they were like, we want you to audition one more time. And I was like, man, this is rough because I had to do stand-up and I'd never done stand-up before. And I was auditioning against all other stand-ups and they were crushing. And yeah, it was the most nervous experience in my life because, it's a life-changing place, you know what I mean? And everybody knows that. Everybody that's trying out for it knows that if you get there and you get a chance to do it well, your life is gonna be completely different.
Now, SNL definitely changed Kenan's life and basically improved my and most of our Saturday nights in the process, but his life changed again in 2014.
That's right. Thompson welcomed daughter Georgia Marie and with wife Christina Evangeline in 2014, and that moment, he says, knocked him off his feet.
That kind of change was just you hear about it, but you don't really listen to people when they tell you it's gonna change your life. It's yeah, of course there's gonna be a kid around, but no, it changes your whole life, you know what I mean? And then it also brings everybody together. All, parents come, they're so proud to be grandparents and all that, so everybody comes and huddles around the baby, and it's a sweet thing. It's like Christmas all the time.
A lot of people are involved in the dating game and they're on dating apps and wanted to know if you have ever done or would ever do a dating app. Doesn't seem like your thing to me, but I was open for like maybe, who knows?
Unwise.
Unwise, don't do it.
A lot of my friends do. A lot of my friends have very funny stories.
Yeah, why is it unwise? Why do you think?
For me,
Yeah. First of all, no one would believe it was really you, right?
but probably.
Like, okay, Michael Bolton, sure,
Probably.
match, swipe
I already
right.
have enough people going online saying they're me and looking for dates, you know, really scary stuff like, you know, we should meet up, I'll take you to dinner. And then someone says, this wasn't you, right? No, that's definitely not me.
Michael Bolton getting catfished, I think.
I guess he is.
Yeah.
He says he is. I mean, but who wouldn't want to impersonate the world famous musician?
Absolutely right, especially back in the day when he was known for those long, flowing locks. Look at that. You remember it, at least the pictures. And I asked Michael Bolton if he ever misses that famous hair. Here's what he said.
I don't miss it. There are fans who occasionally say, oh, I love the hair. Jackie Chan.
Okay.
I meet Jackie Chan.
he loved
not too long ago.
the long locks.
Why'd you cut your hair?
It was your thing, come on.
You know,
What-
he's a big fan.
I don't know about you guys, but we're kind of obsessed with the marvelous Mrs. Maisel over here.
Absolutely. The show is coming back for a season 2 at some point. The premiere date hasn't been released just yet, but they've been filming all spring, which is getting us really excited.
So when
Following
Maureen,
along.
yeah, so excited. So when Maureen Hinkle, who plays Midge's mom Rose, stopped by People Now, we had so many questions to ask her.
Including what her on-screen husband, actor Tony Shalhoub, is really like when the cameras stop rolling.
But Tony is, he's a dream. I was saying earlier, it's like he's from another time. He's so classy. And everything about him is sort of dashing. You know, we were overseas, I can say that.
Okay.
We were in another country shooting.
In Paris, right?
We were in Paris.
Yeah.
And he would walk the streets with his beret, and you could see kind of women swooning, I swear.
Really?
Yes.
And not because, oh, that's
Yeah.
Tony Shalhoub, just because it's a dashing, or maybe a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. He had a mustache, he had the French bread, and
whole
he had
thing.
the beret, and people swooned.
So we reported on the Tony Award nominations last week. Tony was nominated his 4th time so far. 0 wins, which I think is unfair.
I think they say 3 times the charm.
Oh.
But for him, I think it's 4 times.
Okay, so
he's
this is
gonna
the
get
year.
it. He's
This is
gonna
the
get
year.
it.
Was he, have you talked to him? Was he excited
Oh
about that?
yeah, I saw him last week. He, you know, Tony should get the Tony. That's what our new saying is on set. And
Let's start the hashtag campaign
He's
right
adorable.
now.
He's adorable because he's seen now every other show of every man that's nominated in his category, and he comes in saying that's who's going to win. And then he'll see Carousel, that's who's going to win. You know, My Fair Lady, that's who's going to win. But you know, we are kind of rooting for him.
I love it. Hashtag Tony should get the Tony. I'm here for it. Let's get it trending.
Absolutely. Now, Maureen is mostly bound to secrecy about what is to come in season 2, but I convinced her to give us a little sneak peek. Watch.
I think in season 1, Rose wasn't open to learning much from her daughter.
Joe left you?
Yes.
Why? What did you do?
In season 2, I think I can tell you that there are parts of her daughter's independent streak that Rose is learning from. So Rose kind of has a rebirth of sorts. There are sides to her that I don't think she thought she was ever going to, touch. She kind of gets younger as she gets older.
The Tigers, the Lions, the Red Wings, that was like part of your blood.
We're hardworking people, and that's what Detroit brings to you.
Now, Michael Bolton and a whole host of other celebrities want the world to know just how great the city of Detroit is with this new documentary. It's called Michael Bolton Presents American Dream Detroit. In it, he shows how the city has been working to bounce back following the Great Recession. But when did the musicians' love for the Motor City begin? Watch this.
When I was a kid growing up in Connecticut, I was hearing incredible music coming out of Detroit. And through the years of touring, speaking to other artists who have been through Detroit, Detroit has a special place for us musically and having an audience there. But we all saw that there was no redevelopment plan that we could see taking place in Detroit for so many years. So through the years, I met a lot of people from Detroit who are artists and from there, and they loved the place. They loved the city. And then we found out while we were filming that these people are putting a tremendous amount of money and resources into rebuilding Detroit. And so we asked to meet them. And that turns into Dan Gilbert from Quicken Loans and Bedrock, and he owns the Cleveland Cavaliers. The film is not about the wealthiest, the most successful people. It's about what they decided to do and all of the individual lives that we came in contact with, who are really at the heart of it, the reason we want Detroit to come back.
By the way, Michael Bolton, maybe not surprising at all, getting a ton of love on Twitter. Here's one tweet of someone that commented, Becky Odom Pence saying, I'm so thrilled to see Michael putting himself out to the public after all these years. He's a musical icon with so much talent. One doesn't last this long in the music industry without having a ton of talent, handsome, sexy, and a killer smile. Becky is a huge fan.
Becky is a huge fan.
Thanks for commenting, Becky.
He's a national treasure. What's not to love?
All right.
Let's check in on our question of the day one last time. We're asking you, who was your first celebrity crush? Lauren says, it doesn't get better than Leo DiCaprio in Titanic. My 8-year-old self thought he was so dreamy.
Ashley writes, little Bow Wow, you just don't know. He was a cutie who looked like a guy I had a crush on in real life. So there you go. We'll be asking a new question of the day tomorrow, and People Now come back for that. And coming up tomorrow from the new film, The Honor List, Karrueche Tran and Megan Rinks stop by, get candid about how they filmed the ultimate revenge scene. It's very funny. And from the series Good Witch, actor James Denton breaks down all the supernatural scenarios we're going to see in season 4.
Thanks for watching.
For that.
And for now, we leave you with one last thing from singer Neo.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Neo, and this is One Last Thing. The last TV show I binged watched was This Is Us. Now, I know that a lot of you are probably already on This Is Us. I got on it really, really late, but I gotta say I was locked in from the very first episode to the last one that just played. I don't think I've ever cried as much watching a TV show. Last time I laughed so hard I cried. I just recently saw the movie Game Night. Really, 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 really funny movie. I won't give anything away, but yeah, definitely laughter, tears in there.
This will be a game night to remember.
Oh boy.
Last big splurge. What's the last thing I spent a lot of money on? Well, the school that my kids go to costs roughly $100 grand a year. That's a pretty big splurge. The last crazy thing I Googled the process of a caterpillar to a butterfly, something that I was doing for the album, and I learned that caterpillars are really ugly.